Let me see what you've got.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Warrior93 here, and here is yet another discussion I am doing on Dragon Ball Z, Resurrection F, Fukatsu no F, Revival Frieza, whatever the heck you want to call it. And this time I have a guest.
Once again, me, the Blue Skylight. I have disappeared into the unknown.
As he's been kind of like on a huge hiatus for a while, but you know, he's still participating every once in a while. So this is a question that obviously you can see from the title. I'm just going to do it. That pretty much every fan has been debating
If Goku is...
Frieza. That's a different question, see? That just
I had the different thought there.
see a totally different perspective now.
Screw it, we do one take.
So, Frieza, his new golden form is now considered a god. So that completely changed things from Goku, because we know that he's a god now. Kind of. Ish. But yeah, for Frieza... You were saying?
Well, until we get to a video about that, I'll save it.
Yeah, so with Frieza, in this new movie, he has trained himself to evolve with his golden form, which can apparently fight against the Super Saiyan God.
And we ain't talking about no super duper training. He did ordinary training. Like, he legitly had himself doing like push-ups, sit-ups, jump roping, jogging, all that.
For 3 months. Only for
Wasn't it 4?
It was either 3 or 4 months. Either way, that's so little time to train with a huge power boost.
Especially when Goku and Vegeta has been at this for years.
Yeah, even like Goku acknowledged it in the movie. He's like, it took us a long time to get here. He's like, yeah, I did it.
And Frieza just like gave him that in just a few months.
Alright. So it's pretty weird how Frieza can compete with a god now. And considering back in the Frieza saga, which was like, I think just about 20 years. Just about 20 years between the Frieza and either 15 or 20 years, somewhere in between there, right?
If you go back to like time logic in terms of like
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, when that event happened.
Yeah, and the Dragon Ball Z timeline, it's about 15 to 20 years behind. So it took Goku and Vegeta pretty much just about that same time just to get to gods, while the Frieza took 4 months after being revived to be able to fight a god and win. Because he was winning in the fight too before his power started decreasing.
Yeah, him being arrogant.
He came to Earth too fast. So the question begs is Frieza considered a god? As I already said. Well, he's going to go get a drink. And he's back.
Sorry, it's just hot over here.
Yeah, it's really hot. So, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Frieza is considered a god now?
Well, if you ask my perspective on it, it's like I'm in between with that, because like it's hard to think whether he is or whether he's not, because even though knowing when he gained that power like so quick, you question how is like, because usually either one of two things. One, with your training, you probably got it so quick because you probably worked your living butt off with that training.
Mm-hmm.
Or two, you're probably just the luckiest person on the planet. And the fact that they reached that it was at this time where Goku and Vegeta just figured out in these moments that there is a Super Saiyan God. And somehow Frieza gets to that point as well, quote unquote, I want to say. And
yeah, because previously his kind of nickname was every fan was spreading it was God Frieza, right?
But yeah, as we know, it's just the cheap name as.
He just says Golden Frieza.
Even he acknowledged that was cheap.
I know, he's like, this is not just a simple color change.
But yeah, anyways, it's just the fact that I say no because it was just more like a power gain for him and a color change. Even though he says it's not just a color change, I'm like, I take it as just a color change with a power up. And somehow you match a god. in like 4 or 3 months. And possibly the only reason I would think of like God, is only because of how his form was, and how he ended up actually being at their exact potential.
And you know, it's kind of like going to Toriyama's art style now of like being like a playing thing now. It's always kind of like playing.
That and gods are now officially a thing of this series.
Yeah. So, in my perspective, what I would consider a god now in this series is just its own kind of like different type of energy now. It's not like, because what I previously thought in Battle of Gods was there was like, here's the status of like everyone else, like if you put it like on a meter, and then there's like God, which is like leagues above everyone else. Here's like, here's normal ki everyone else feels. Then there's
the ki that no other person in this world can actually sense unless they're God.
Yeah, I was thinking like, it's so high that mortal can't sense it. Kind of like how a dog hears something that's so high that we can't hear it. But dogs can hear it though because they can hear it.
The thing was that you actually did just bring a thought back to me, like when Goku did fight Beerus for the first time, couldn't he not sense his energy?
Yeah, he couldn't sense his energy at all. So I was thinking like, yeah, his energy level's so high that even Goku couldn't even feel it. But I guess this movie just broke logic, saying you can be at normal level, a normal ki, and still be at a god's level. Because I guess everyone else felt the ki too, because otherwise they wouldn't have been as shocked seeing Frieza transform like that. If they saw Frieza transforming one more time, I can only think of like 2 things why they would be shocked. One, because they thought that was his final form. It's like, he has another form? Wait, what? And it's like, he's going to grow power even more? And then there's 2 of like, they can still read his power level as it's still going up. And he's in this new form. And it was like, whoa, what just happened? And like, Vegeta and Goku, I think at this stage, they aren't technically the Super Saiyan gods anymore. Because, you know, like, they're Super Saiyan God and then they kind of like reverted back. That's like a whole new video in itself. But I'll probably discuss that later. But I kind of think like, yeah, Frieza's at this level where it's so high, it can like be measured with the gods, how their power level's so high, you just can't sense the god energy because it's a different type. And that's why when Frieza beat Goku, everyone was like, whoa, okay, I guess gods aren't that all that. Anyways,
I think Beerus would have wanted to kill someone for someone just saying that.
Yeah. Well, in terms of strength, Golden Frieza is not as strong as Beerus, because Frieza was still afraid of Beerus.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's because if you think about it, Beerus is scary. Everyone had the exact reaction when they encountered Beerus.
Yeah, well, I think in the power scale now, it's like first is Whis, then it's Beerus, then it's Golden Frieza, then there's Goku and Vegeta, but you can't really tell who's stronger because
I look at them as equal at the moment.
Yeah, right now I kind of look at them as equal because they were both training under Whis, but Goku seemed like he would be weaker just because he was fighting a stronger Frieza.
And Vegeta like really just beat his body no problem.
Yeah, in like one or 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then cockingly decided to take a minute to blast him to bits.
He's like, "Don't resurrect again." All right, so I think at this moment, I think we're both in agreement that Golden Frieza is not a god, but his power level is just super, super high.
His power level is like equivalent to a god's.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what I think. So I think, anything else you want to hear more thoughts on this?
And the fact that with the whole god thing, like I'd be like totally okay with the fact because of how they ended up just now bringing up these new things, and the fact that I just wish there was like, you know, even a bigger meeting to like, because when now it's like how Frieza somehow matches a god's power. I wish it just be meaning as not just a Saiyan, not just Saiyans having a god ability, and
Like humans and Namekians, yeah.
yeah, like I wish it was like an equivalent to everything. Well, I wouldn't want to say Earthlings though.
Well, I think it's just well, obviously because Saiyans are like the main focus of Dragon Ball Z at least. So that's probably why they were like Super Saiyan God, of course. That makes sense. And then Namekians, well, considering that they're kind of a peaceful race anyways, I don't think they would have much use for a god form.
Yeah,
But I think if like every Namekian fused into one, I think that would make it pretty powerful.
yeah, because I would say because I'm speaking upon Piccolo.
Because when Piccolo fuses, he gets powerful.
Like when he fused with Kami, Jesus.
He went from someone who couldn't even take on 17 to someone who can at least even up with him.
And that's the point. Get him to actually somehow an android starts bleeding.
Yeah. Alright, so I think that concludes it right there. So, in conclusion, Frieza is not a god.
You can say what you think in the comments below.
And, I don't, it looks like there's something else was
You have
going to
any
add.
other inputs?
Frieza is not a god. Oh, also, god power is not, as of this movie now, god power is not leagues above normal ki now. So I think that's pretty much it. So, what do you think? Do you think Frieza's still a god after hearing this whole conversation? Or do you agree with us and say he's not a god? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below.
The decision is yours and yours alone.
And make sure you subscribe. Wait, make sure you hit this video with a like first.
Smack that like button, poke that like button.
And subscribe to become part of the Super Saiyan army.
And make sure you Super Saiyans don't scratch that. Don't slap or don't poke the like button. Blast the like button if you want.
Blast that like button. Blow it to smithereens.
Big Bang Attack, Kamehameha, whatever you want.
Whatever. Also, the Blue Skylight, his channel will be in the description below, so I will link him to that. I will link you to that, because I think he already knows his own channel.
I think I'm going to link myself to my own channel. Please show me what my channel is.
Okay, so I'm going to link his channel in the description. I'll probably link in the comments below for you guys who are too lazy to read a description. I'll probably do that as well. Make sure you subscribe to him. He'll be having some stuff coming up in the future.
Probably soon, since it's summer.
It's summer, so we have a lot more time. That's why you've been seeing me upload a lot more on my other channel. And make sure you subscribe for more discussions on Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super.
Especially since we also know you guys like our discussions.
And maybe Dragon Ball Kai, but I consider that Dragon Ball Z now.
The next thing we could possibly discuss is more of like.
I have a whole discussion list. Don't worry, we'll get that. Alright, so make sure you subscribe. I'm like dragging this video out too long now. See you later!
See ya.